Japan up against South Africa, folks, and it's a pretty emphatic one. 61 points to 7. A lot went right for South Africa in this game, and I feel like Rassie will be pretty happy with how things went. He got to do, I feel like most of the things he wanted to do. He got to bring on some substitutes early. He got to try Andre Esterhuizen as a flanker again. I know he's done it in other games as well, but he got on quite early on the flank in this game. You know, Libok got to come on and pull the strings for a bit. Ox getting injured is maybe the one dampener on what was a pretty good effort from the box. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Fingers crossed Ox is okay and it's nothing too serious. But yeah, that was obviously not a great moment. But they scored a heap of tries. They had a dominance at scrum time, especially on their own feed. The Japanese did okay, to be fair, when it was their feed. But the Boks were able to get a lot of penalties from Bok feed on scrum time. The maul was cracking. The Boks was so dangerous on kick return. The Japanese guys learned a bit of a lesson on if you don't contest kicks or if you kick to the Boks backfield in space and don't get up in their face, you give them too much time, you're going to get punished. Japanese lineout got disrupted. Yeah, there was a lot to like about this Springboks performance, and Eddie will have to go back to the drawing board a wee bit, but there's no shame in getting beaten by this Bok team. I know it's 61 points to 7, but it's a pretty good team. It was raining as well, which I don't think helped the Japanese because they struggled under the high balls. South Africa made them pay several times in that area as well. I know they played in the rain last week as well against the Australians, did Japan, but yeah, it's a bit of a different story playing this Bok side. We'll go through some of the key events and stats, and then I'm off to watch the Scots take on the US, which has already started. It's overlapping games. This game overlapped with the England and Australia game, and it also overlaps with the Scottish game, which has already started. So we better get moving. High tackle early from Leach on Sasha Feinberg and Ngomazulu. Pretty much directly leads to a maul try to Sio Kolisi, because you give the Boks that possession and territory down your own end. You're asking for trouble. First maul gives away advantage. Second maul, boom. Try time. So South Africa's in through Kolisi. It does take a little bit of time to get the second try, by which I mean like 10 minutes. There's a few errors both ways. High balls. Japan did okay on their first scrum. But what looked like a wasted chance not too long later from Visa when he knocked on down Japan's end ended at Sasha Feinberg Ngomazulu try. And again, it's the Japanese clearance. It says you don't find touch. Sasha catches the ball, sees what's on, up and under. He's able to punish when the Japanese guys can't gather it. He gathers it. Try time, 14-0. Just looked like the Japanese were going to be able to exit, but nope, 14-0. And you feel like Japan needed to avoid Malcolm Marx. Like, don't run towards that guy. He won turnovers for days. Multiple ones early. Yeah, it was causing Japan all kinds of trouble. First feed for South Africa at scrum time leads to a penalty, and I feel like that's an avoidable one for Japan as well. Yazaki, who scores the only try for Japan, and maybe this is one of the things, like if you're looking at the Bok performance under a microscope, looking at things to find improvement on, you'd be like, oh, well, you conceded a try when you had 14 men on the field from Japan. They won't be happy with that, but you got to love it because he's a university kid. To score his first ever test try against the Boks is pretty cool for him. Quite a moment. But Yazaki, from a Bok kick, which was just perfectly placed just outside the 22, he kind of had his feet in the 22, trying to stretch out and catch it so he could mark it. Ended up knocking it on. He just needed to take it in the field of play, I think. But that knock on leads to a Bok scrum. That Bok scrum leads to a penalty, and with advantage, Sasha Feinberg goes on with Ngomazulu, seemingly with nothing on. Just like gas, a fend on Cornelson, and try time. So back-to-back tries for him. 19 points to 0. That's when Ox goes off, which is, as I said, one of the disconcerting moments from a Bok perspective. But yeah, 19-0. It's a pretty flying start. Japan did start to have a better time under the high balls for a little while, which meant there was a period of play where it was, more of an arm wrestle, more of a game. Japan had a 5-meter attacking play, which looked to be like, that's a nice move, a little set play. But Sasha Feinberg Ngomazulu again intercepted a pass which was meant for Leach. I think if Leach gets that, he's going up for try time all days. But Hell of a defensive read, so Japan shut down once again. They were looking to play quick, Japan, which is, in their best interest, you feel, and that's how they scored their try later on. But South Africa were able to largely shut them down, and then they did finish the first half, South Africa, with a penalty try, 35 minutes, a couple of mauls. First one gets advantage again, second one, the ref is not having it anymore. It is a penalty try. Takeuchi, the tight head prop, gets yellow carded, 26-0. Into the sheds. Japan did have one last chance before half-time, up them for touch, went through some phases, but Visa ended up winning a penalty at the breakdown. So, yeah, nothing doing. So 26-0 at half-time. There's been a bit of a period in the middle where South Africa didn't score any points, but they've been pretty good value for the first half. Run meters is 215 to 100, so you've got more than double your opponent's run meters. Defenders beaten's 15-4, clean breaks is 3-2, but they've won more turnovers 5-2. Japan's almost conceded double the penalties 9-5. Possession and territory is like 60-40 and 54-46. So there's a heap to like about that first half from a South African perspective, as I said, barring the Ox injury. Second half starts, Gunter gets yellow carded for a high shot on Kolisi as well, which doesn't help their effort, and that's when they bring the changes to the from the Bok bench. Andre Esterhuizen does come on the flank, and they punished 14-man Japan. Not too long later, Wilco Louw ends up getting the try. There'd been multiple guys involved in the build-up. Andre Esterhuizen had a carry. Colby had kind of cut back in field. It was Sasha, I think, to Kwaka to Wilco Louw, who gets the try. So 33-0. But despite that, Japan did score during the yellow card, as I said, which is a nice moment for the youngster Yazaki at fullback. He looks like a promising player. Hasn't even started his professional rugby career yet, as the commentators pointed out. So, yeah, just playing quick. South Africa conceded a few penalties, and the Yazaki one's just a tap. And that's bold stuff from a guy who's never played professional rugby to have the confidence to take a quick tap against the box and seize that moment. That takes a real kind of confidence, because you could have forgiven him for just letting his captain make a call or set play that they had planned. But no, just go quick, back yourself, and he gets a try. So that's nice for him. 33 points to 7. That's the only scoring for Japan, though. It looks like Esterhuizen has scored a try from a maul, but it gets TMO'd for a bit of Snyman obstruction in the build-up. But again, doesn't matter, because when they miss one chance, the box, not too long later, they get it, because, again, it's a Libok high kick, which started with a line-out steal, actually. South Africa stole the line-out. Libok puts up a high kick, and it's loose ball. Kurtley Arons is able to pounce. South Africa bring up 40. Then they win a penalty from a kick chase pressure, which leads to an Esterhuizen try. He's got a bit of power. 49-7. Japan kick to Colby, which is not the greatest idea. He just, again, fine touch, guys. Or put a chaser in to give him some pressure. Even that might not have helped. He's able to get a line break from it. Dinks through for Kurtley Arons. Try time, they bring up 50, 54-7. And then after about 10 minutes of no scoring, they did get the kind of icing on the cake try, Creel. And again, it's from kick return. It's Libok who catches the ball. He's got a bit of... he passes it, was it Kurtley? Who's got the gas to draw a defender and then set up Creel on the support line. They bring up 60, 61-7. Goodness me. Yeah, some stats for you. Run meters is 500 to 251. So double pretty much. Offloads is 10-2 to the box. Clean breaks 7-3 to the box. Defenders beaten 30-11 to the box. Turnovers 8-5 to the box. Kicks from hand 35-29 to the box. Yeah. Dominant. Kurtley Arons, 4 line breaks, 124 meters, try assist and a couple of tries. Sasha, 8 defenders beaten, 80 meters, 2 line breaks from him, and he came off pretty early. Those stats would have been way higher if he'd stayed on. Diaka, 19 tackles. Leach made 14 on defensive shift for Japan. Yazaki had like 70 meters and a debut try, so congrats to him. But yeah, that is the second game of the day. Sun is up here in NZ now, so going to go watch the Scots take on the US. But as I said, pretty dominant performance from the box. They will like many aspects of their performance. And yeah, we'll see how they go on the rest of their tour. You guys take care. Let us know your thoughts on the result. And I'll talk to you guys again soon. See you later.